your host, Caroline Carter, and I'm joined by three tremendous actors here today. We have Reese, James, and Matt, and all have recently, I'd say in under, 5 years, you guys have all relocated to the Atlanta area due to the fact it's a big, booming film and television industry here, right? Is that not right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what have you guys felt since you've moved here from your other markets? Is it harder to get roles? Is it easier? What's it been like? Tell us, Matt.
I think it's been very hard. I've only been in small markets like Colorado, which is very, very small, and then New Mexico, which is growing now, but it's still a very small market. And here, you're competing with people from LA, New York, and just from all over because of the way they do auditions here. Everyone, the self-tape. So I think it's much harder to get auditions here.
Now I know, Reese, you do a lot of theater as well, so
Yeah.
what do you try to focus on here?
So I've only been here for 2 months, and I'm coming straight out of education, educational theater, and so what I'm trying to focus on is really figuring out what the business is and like how to start getting into that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I've definitely done a whole lot more theater in my life, and so, for example, I'm in my first show right now, which is a theater, not film experience, and
Right.
so taking classes, and I'm building my network and trying to break into it.
Make it
So,
happen,
yeah.
right. And James, our young buck over here, how's it going for you?
Well, it's a pretty similar story, but I'm a bit shorter. I've only been here a month, so I really just barely feel like I'm even dipping my toes in the water right now. I came from a very small market also,
Mm-hmm.
really small town, so this is a big pond, and I feel like a little fish right now, especially just barely getting in the water, but that's what's
Right.
going on.
So I've been reading a lot of chatter on Facebook and also other social media outlets about having an agent and whether an agent is actually good or whether it's bad. You can get work on your own. So how many of you actually have an agent, and if you have, how hard was it to get one?
I have an agent in North Carolina. I don't have one in Atlanta yet. Working on that. I need to beef up my reels and have more stuff with what I look like today versus a couple of years ago. I gotta
Right.
get all up to date.
Everything has to be recent for sure, because in television and film, something you did yesterday is all of a sudden old today, right?
Yeah.
So I guess, Reese, you're looking to try and get an agent. I mean, would you
Yeah.
agree that would be fantastic? Because, that's where they have a lot of the jobs that you don't see, like on
Right.
regular websites like Casting Networks and Actors Access. They've got all the real juicy stuff, right?
Yeah, well, and so like one of the problems with like coming out of education is they didn't really cover how to get an agent, which you would think would be something they would cover,
Right.
but they didn't. And so really one blessing that I had when I first moved to Atlanta is that I met a casting director through a friend of mine who offers a class to actors who are just now moving to Atlanta on like how to break into the business, what do you have to do, and part of that is how do you get an agent, and so and even stuff like what is a reel, and like what are the important components to capture in a reel, and what kind of headshots work, and all of that goes into how do you get an agent, so I'm working on creating all that material right now so that I'll be ready.
Right, and James, you create a lot of your own content. So are you putting that together in packages and soliciting agents by sending that stuff out to them?
Not yet. I'm building it up right now. I'm building a base. I want to have something so when they do look at it, they go, okay, he's got it going on. He's got, he's spent a lot of time on camera, and they can look at things that I've done and say, okay, and also a reel, it can be a real maze figuring out what to do in this world if you don't have someone to kind of guide you through. That would be a real nightmare on your own. But that's just creating your own content and having a reel, just going for it.
And you have to be careful when you're going to solicit it, when you're going to send it out, right? Because you don't want to look like an amateur, because you're sending it to agents, they're established, they don't want to see some really amateur looking reel. So you really have to be ready before you send your material, or you put yourself back, right?
Exactly.
Right. So let's talk about another crazy thing that's going on in the acting business, and that has to do with social numbers. Like, I don't know if you guys like posting stuff about yourself, and I got this audition, or I got this job, and it's like, it gives you kind of those icky feelings.
Yeah.
But now I'm reading that a lot of casting directors, they're looking at, what's this girl's social number versus that girl's social number, and she's just got they may be equivalent as far as acting capabilities are, but because she has better numbers on Instagram, we're going to give the job to her. What do you think of that?
I personally hate it. Because throughout my normal day, I don't think about social media. I don't think like I'm doing something, and while I'm doing something, hey, I want to share this with the world type of thing, or anything like that. Sometimes I'll take like a fun picture and I'll send it to like a friend here or a specific person because they'll get it. I don't think of social media throughout my day. I need to, but I just don't. And plus, I also don't want the whole world knowing what I'm doing all the time for the most part. But I do like to, like, if I'm in a show or if I have a film coming out or anything like that, to promote it. Social media is great for promoting things and getting word out there and stuff. I don't necessarily like to do all the personal stuff. I like to treat it more as like the business part.
Right?
That's like, but my Facebook is like my acting website almost for the most part.
Right. And that's what they say you should do. That your Facebook, you know, if you want to be a serious actor, your Facebook should have 4 professional shots out there, and you should really be presenting yourself as an actor first. Yeah. What about you, Reese? Would you be disappointed if a casting director hired somebody else over you because they had more followers than you?
Disappointed, sure, but like I also get it. I agree in that I'm very bad at social media. I'm too busy, or I just don't care enough to like tell people what I'm doing. I'm just doing it. So like, what is why do they need to know? Yeah. I get it from the sense that like as technology has advanced, it's become so much easier to create your own material.
Right.
And because of that, you can market yourself and you can use that as a market. And so like I get it from a business standpoint. Like if you're picking between 2 people that you see at like a similar level of skill, or like they fit the character just the same, that you would go with the one that people know more. I get that. I may not like it, but like if you're gonna be in the business world, you have to understand how the business is run.
Right.
And so it just encourages me to now go home and create my own stuff and start putting it out there.
Right. And again, you're the young guy. I mean, you're the young guest. You're young too. But do you agree with this social media?
Yeah. I mean, it's a business. It's all out there to make money. That's what they create things for. So if they can get someone that they think will bring them in more money, then that's what they'll go with. I personally don't like posting things online either. That's a big thing I've had to learn to do, is just actually stop and take a picture of myself, which has always felt silly, but that's important now. And especially if you can do it in a way that people will somehow find amusing, then that's even harder, but that's what you gotta do.
And it seems like everything you do as an actor, you have to get out of your box, get out of your comfort zone, just to the point where, let's go, here we go, post this, post that, right? Well, thank you so much, guys, for joining me today, and hopefully you'll come back and join me next time on the Actors Hot Stove.